When I was 8, Auntie Esther taught me how to bake a cake without an oven. Today, 11 years later, I will be showing you 3 methods to bake anything without an oven. And for the purpose of this video, I am kind enough, and as the sweet girl I am to you people, I will be showing you how to make a simple chocolate cake. Amazing, right? And you know the most exciting thing about all this? I'll be showing you how to make a simple chocolate cake recipe without any gadgets. You don't need a mixer, you don't need anything. I'll be showing you how to make it with just your mixing bowl and your hand whisk. So without much being said, let's get right into it. Wait. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button now. I'm joking, I'm not commanding you, but please hit your subscribe button because I'll be dropping videos on Tuesday and Friday and you don't want to miss it, right? So hit your subscribe button, click on the notification bell beside the subscribe button so that you will be the first to get notified when I upload a new video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up at the end of this video because this video you will learn a lot and I'm sure it will be something that will be useful for you. Don't forget to drop your comments. Let me gist you. Do you know I smile a lot when I read your comments? So please drop comments in the comment section because I'll be going through them. You can even drop your suggestions in the comment section. What you want me to post next, you can drop it in the comment section. If you try out any of my recipes, please send me feedback on Instagram. I am Chef Temmie. So let's start. So the first thing we want to do now is melt our butter because we'll be making use of melted butter in this recipe. I love using melted butter to make my cake because I really don't like the flavor of vegetable oil in my cake, so I prefer melting my butter then use it as the base of my recipe.
To my pot, I'll be going in with 1 cup of butter. I already measured 1 cup of butter and I'll just be melting it on very low heat. The flavor of butter or margarine in our baked goods is not emphasized enough. It literally takes it from 10 to 100. I'm not even exaggerating. I would keep stirring while it melts so that it can melt evenly and that way my work is faster, and I'll just off my gas and allow it to cool down. The reason is because when you add hot butter to your eggs while baking, the egg might curdle. Everything you are using should be on room temperature, so allow your melted butter cool before adding it into your mixture.
To my mixing bowl, the melted butter we melted earlier, I'll just proceed to pour in a cup into. I'll remeasure it.
Now crack in 3 large eggs. This 3 large egg is about 150 grams. So if you can't find large eggs just like this and you have the smaller eggs, all you have to do is just measure it on your scale till it completes 150 grams. Don't forget to check the description box for the full ingredient and recipes. But while at that, go in with your white granulated sugar into the eggs. This is about 1.5 cup of white granulated sugar with extra quarter cup. Generously pour that into your egg mixture and give that a very good mix. This could serve you as an arm exercise also, so for the day you can use this one as your arm workout. You can already tell that this recipe is not demanding so much. All you have to do is just use your hands and minimum ingredients that you have at home, and yet you will have a very yummy, very tasty, very easy to make chocolate cake. Minimum effort, maximum results. Once your egg and sugar begin to look as creamy as this, then you proceed to add in your 1 cup of melted butter. By now our butter should be on room temperature. That way your eggs wouldn't curdle and you just mix till it is incorporated into each other. I know I've said this before, but I'll be saying it again. I love the flavor of margarine or butter in my cakes. Now we'll be going in with 1 tablespoon of browning. I'm using browning and white sugar to substitute brown sugar. So if you don't have brown sugar, you can use your white sugar and your browning. You can get that in your cake store or any bakery store around you. I'll be going in with few drops of vanilla extract. This is about half teaspoon, and about half teaspoon of chocolate extract also.
Now we'll be adding in enough milk to loosen this up. So we'll be measuring a cup of milk to loosen it up. So the milk gives it a rich flavor. If you don't have liquid milk just like this, you can measure half cup of powdered milk in 1 cup of, in just like a cup like this. In a cup like this, and fill it up with water. Once you combine it, you are good to go. So you don't have to worry if you don't have liquid milk like this. We can substitute, Now let's go in with our milk. Now mix to combine. You can already tell that this cake is very easy, yet it is super yummy. The reason for the brown look is because we added the browning. That's like the function of the browning, to enhance the chocolate flavor and make it a little bit more intense. That's why we add the browning to it. And do you know that if you don't have brown sugar, you can use white sugar then brownie. The combination of both is what makes brown sugar. So you don't have to panic if you don't have an ingredient when making your recipe. You can substitute to another ingredient. 1 + 1 makes 2. This is one of the most important tools you need to have when baking, a sieve. You literally need to sieve every dry ingredient you are adding because of lumps and sometimes because of insects, and we don't want to eat what we run our stomach the way we don't want. So you need to sieve your dry ingredients. So I'll be sieving my flour, I'll be sieving the cocoa powder, and I'll also be sieving the baking powder.
This is about 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I'll be adding it into my mixture. Now go in with half cup of unsweetened cocoa powder and a tablespoon of baking powder. Carefully shift it. You don't want it to spill, you don't want to waste your already measured flour. So just carefully sift it into your wet mixture. Now using my spatula to combine, I'm going to mix everything carefully. I don't want it to spill and I want everything to be neat, so I'm going to do that carefully and I'm just going to fold in. You don't want to over mix, but you want to mix properly.
I think I'm really going to switch to my whisk because I think it's easier for me to use than a spatula. But you can use whichever one you like, whichever one you have, or whichever one is easier for you to use. It's working faster. So now that we've finished mixing, the next thing you want to do before even pouring it into your baking pan is to preheat your pot, because we are using pot to bake this cake. So let me now show you the key methods you can use to bake your cake. This is the pot I'll be using, and the first method I love to use is the use of this extra gas stand. If you have those 2-burner gas or like a 4-burner gas like this, like the one I'm using, all you have to do is ensure that your baking pan can properly sit on it, and you're just going to put it inside your pot, place your baking pan on it, and you're going to bake. But because we have just one cake batter, I'll be illustrating with an empty pan, and I'll be using one of the methods to bake the cake we are going to be baking today. We're going to place it into the pot just like this and place our baking pan into it just like this. What you want to do now is just cover and allow to bake. The second method I'm going to be showing you today is the use of stones, and this method was originally derived from the use of sand. When I was growing up, the method Auntie Esther taught me originally was the use of sand. We will literally pour sand inside our pot, then we'll cover it with like a newspaper and then place our baking pan on it and cover it and allow it to bake. But I can't be looking for sand. I'm a fine girl. I'm joking, but sand is very difficult to get where I am now, so I prefer substituting with stones, and stones work perfectly to bake a cake. So all you have to do is just arrange your stone inside your pot, place your baking pan inside of it, and just cover and allow to bake. But before you put your baking pan that contains your cake batter, you have to preheat your pot just like the way you preheat your oven. So let me illustrate it to you so that you can understand better. Finally, the third method I will be showing you today, and of course the third method I will be using to bake this chocolate cake batter, is the salt method. Just like sand, salt has the ability to retain heat, and once you bake on low heat, you can use it to bake your cake. And the salt is reusable, so you don't have to worry that I buy salt and I'm going to be using the salt to bake a cake and I'll be trying to use. You can reuse your salt to bake another cake, not to cook. Oh, you can't use the salt to cook, but you can use the salt to bake another cake. So all you have to do is get a pot just like this, pour in the salt, preheat it for like 5 to 10 minutes on low heat, because you know that it is getting direct heat from the gas to the pot. So you want to bake on low heat so that your cake doesn't get burnt. Then you just put your baking pan into the pot, cover and allow to bake. So let me show you the illustration.
Before we pour in our cake mix, we have to butter our pan very well, and you can see that I am focusing on the edges of the baking pan first before even going to other part of the baking pan. That is because that is literally where holds the cake, that is where the cake forms. So you have to butter it very well with your pastry brush, and I'm going to extra line it with some parchment paper just like this. Now to my pot, I'm going to be pouring in my salt, the regular cooking salt, the table salt that we all know, and I'm just going to be putting enough. You don't want to put so much, you don't need to put so much, but you don't want it to be so little. And I'm going to preheat that while I cover it. I'll pour in my cake batter into my baking pan now because my pot is already preheating, and I will just scrape it out. I don't want a single batter in my mixing bowl. I'm going to scrape all of that, open up my pot and carefully put the pan into the pot. Now cover the pot.
And after 40 minutes of baking in a pot on low heat, let's check our chocolate cake.
I forgot to show this, but to be sure your cake is ready, once you dip a toothpick into your cake and it comes out clean, your cake is ready. If it comes out sticky, you still need to bake for some more time. Our cake is ready, and I'll just remove it off the baking pan and remove my parchment paper.
My cake burnt a little bit, so I'll be using my bread knife to scrape it up, and it's going to be perfect.
This cake is not just only easy to make, it is very soft and fluffy. Every chocolate lover will definitely love this. You can make this for your friends and your family and they will all love it. It's time to give it a quick taste. You can already tell that this melts in my mouth.
And now my friends, now that you have known how to bake anything without an oven, and now that you know how to bake the most delicious and easiest chocolate cake recipe ever, I hope you will. In fact, I don't want to hope. Please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and the notification bell right beside it to be the first to get notified when I post any video on Tuesday and Fridays. Don't forget, I am Temitayo. My handles on all social media is Chef Temmie, so you can send me your feedback on all social media. Full ingredients and recipes will be in the description box down below. And until next time, see you in my next one. Bye bye. I love you.